It is an absolutely beautiful day here in South Georgia. I do have clothes on. Bear with me. I just don't have a shirt on. I got shorts and I got shoes on and socks. Um, why is it such a beautiful day? Well, we're back here on the farm. Um, I mean, for most people, this would just be insanely hot. I mean, I'm sweating like the youngest boy, ain't been to church in 6 years or something. I don't know, but hell, it ain't snowing, so I don't care. But the purpose of the video is to really discuss the importance of routines. Um, many years ago, before I got into my specialty job with my old work, my routine was to come to the farm 3 days a week. I would run early in the morning, and then I would prone out. We got a couple different shooting ranges here at the farm, and generally I would shoot it anywhere from 100 to 500 yards, typically. Shoot quarters, just focus. To me, it was almost like meditation. When I got into my specialty job, it became difficult. I was on call a lot. My schedule kind of got crazy, and there was really no routine. So it was not abnormal for me to come over here at 3 o'clock in the morning with a headlamp on and to get a run in, but I couldn't shoot. It was dark. And my shooting kind of dwindled down, and that routine went away. But that routine was essential to my mental health. Not a word that anybody in the first responding world wants to hear is mental health, but it was essential to my mental health. Several months ago, um, I was over here, got my run done, and I was like, I need to go around, and behind me is a feeder, and those are feeders that we run on the farm year round for the deer and the turkeys, and we have cameras on them, and it's kind of cool. You can watch the deer grow, and you can see the little babies, the fawns and stuff. It's just kind of cool, and we go around and fill them once a month. We got it on a dry erase board so we know when it's due. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take my shirt off and just go in my tennis shoes and my shorts. That was me trying to recapture some of my youth. As a youth, half the time I was barefoot and didn't know what a shirt was. I do have some American Indian in me, and I mean, I'd get dark. I mean, dark. One time, some folks thought I was adopted. No joke. But you grow up and you start to work around people, and you realize there's stuff called skin cancer and melanoma. People getting half their ears cut off, and pretty much anymore, I'm in long pants and long sleeve shirt. Got my cowboy hat back there on a T-post, and it's also, I work outside. And so I'm in briars and could get snake bit, whatever. I don't know. I just don't understand folks working outside in shorts. I just don't get it. But that's neither here nor there. But the importance of that routine is essential. And one of the biggest problems I had when I retired was I had no routine. Even in the chaotic world of first responding and military, there is some sense of a routine. Somewhere there's a routine. It could be very minor, but there is a routine. And when I retired, I was like, holy crap, now what do I do? And we had our family business, so I mean, I was busy, but things had changed. And so this is my once a month routine. And it's all part of, capturing the, I hate to use the word, but like the Zen, you know, literally just right up through here in the swamp. I did a video earlier this year about how I live in a snow globe, and I do live in a snow globe, and I like my snow globe. I try to keep a lot of outside crap out of my snow globe. I don't watch the news. I just don't. I know there's bad crap in the world. I don't need some hammerhead in a suit or some lady in a dress telling me that there's bad junk in the world. I just don't need it. I get it. I know there is. And so, for me, probably before I go to bed, I need to watch Sesame Street or something like that. And then I'd be all, hey, great. But it's all part of that snow globe. To me, what I'm doing today is simply, I'm in my snow globe, but I'm really capturing some good data to put inside my snow globe. Make it a very zenful, I don't know if that's a word, snow globe. I've written about it, I've talked about it, the importance, if you had a good childhood and it was healthy and it's a feel good, then any time that you can bring that childhood into adulthood, your perspective is completely different now from when you were a kid. But like for me to be in a pair of shorts, shoes, running around on some property. Yeah, I'm 9 years old again. And I'm kind of acting like it today. And it's healthy. It is extremely healthy. It's not a pill, it's not a bottle, it's not a therapist, it isn't a heavy lift. It's literally just going, hey, today's Monday. I need to go over to the farm, get my run in. I need to fill my feeders. And what am I going to do? I'm going to be 9 years old again. We didn't have a gator like this when I was growing up. We had bicycles. But it is what it is. And that's pretty much the video, is the importance of having a really good snow globe. And we've talked about the importance of that occasionally you got to get out of your snow globe. You can't just live totally in a snow globe. But this is a snow globe day. You know, and inside that snow globe day, you know, we're filling it up with a lot of good information. Now, that device right there, the phone, my other phone, oddly enough, I was going to talk about it, but that's perfect timing. It interrupts this day. It does. I got a call earlier and I was like, God dang it. And it did. It was like a torpedo. So my advice is, you know, on these Zen snow globe days, you know, if you can somehow control that device to a degree, then I would, you know, because it will interrupt it, you know. And that phone call I got a couple hours ago, it wasn't a real good phone call. I got my magnetic speaker back here and I had to pop in some Bob Seger. I was like, all right, come on, Bob Seger, help me out. And then I kind of turned it around. But when you're rebooting on those reboot days and you are in the Zen snow globe world, try to limit the outside exposure. And you're not avoiding anything. You're just soaking it all up. So let me buzz you around. There's really not much to look at. There really isn't. I mean, I'm kind of tucked down here in a hole. We have had a lot of rain and we needed it. It's just been so dry here in South Georgia that everything is growing. And hell, I had trouble finding the feeder. I mean, I know where it's at, but we have a little road. So with that being said, hang on. So anyway, there's our feeder. There's our camera. And way back that way, there's a lot of videos back there. That's the lower swamp. And this was a clear cut, but now it's all, you know, growing up. There's baby pines in here. Let's see if I can find you a baby pine. We planted them. They're just trying to grow up and be a big pine tree. Where you fellas at? There's one. I know it sounds terrible, but that's him right there. A little pine tree. So, anyway, but that's what we got, man. So who am I today? I'm a guy that's 9 years old. I got a lot more wisdom than your average 9-year-old. And I'm out here in my Zen snow globe and I am packing it full of as much good junk as I can for those days that I can't be in a snow globe. That's just the way I see it. But please think about the importance of a routine. Simple, whatever it is. When I'm working with first responders and they're wrapped around that axle pretty hard, that's one of my main goals. I didn't read it in a book. I just got to thinking about it one day, is that, you know, we need to try to get them back into a routine of some form or fashion. You know, I mean, the sleep cycle changes, they can't sleep. I mean, all the above. And, you know, you just kind of talk to them and go, hey, you know, like, what's something you normally do on a normal day? Because clearly it ain't been normal for 3 weeks or a month or whatever it is. It's like, well, on a normal day, you know, I'd go out here and take the dog for a walk. All right, let's take the dog for a walk. And it's really, that's what it is. And try to find, you know, a way to have a routine that you know works really, really well for you. And it really charges that battery and clears that head. And try to minimize, like I said earlier, minimize the contact from the outside world that can disrupt the charge, you know. And I mean, it's incredible. I just started this several months ago, but like I wake up, you know, this morning and I was like, oh yeah, today's the day. You know, the weather's good, you know, and I'm out here. It is what it is. So with that being said, spread the love, not the hate, and I hope you all get something out of this one. And as always, man, we appreciate the comments. We don't have a clue what we're doing, but we're going to keep doing it. Y'all take care.